Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Forged Irish Stout. Always a pleasure to be joined by Michael Conlan. Slick, look, it's fight week. Different demeanour about you in comparison to the build-up to the Lopez fight. You seem much more at ease. Just explain how you're feeling now. We've done the open workout today. You've had your first face-off. How are you feeling?
I'm nice and relaxed. I'm excited about Saturday and putting on a performance. So, yeah, different type of feel. I just feel good.
You mentioned last time you added extra pressure. You kept saying stuff like last chance saloon and adding to what was already a big occasion. What's changed for this fight? Why is that seemingly not the case? You seem like a happy fighter.
Yeah, it's the thing. I've went away. I've changed an awful lot of things and thought about an awful lot of things, and things that went right, things that went wrong, and things that I've done. And I've approached this just with a different mentality, and I'm excited. It's just I'm really looking forward to it.
Is this about for you embracing the occasion rather than thinking, you mentioned before, I think Jamie was saying he's never seen you like in a long time happy. Like you get to fight and it's like, get it done. Yeah. And you mentioned earlier, like I look forward to it being over. But are you actually relishing the opportunity now to sort of show everyone, look, Michael Conlan's still here, I'm still at world level, and yeah, this is the get back for you.
Yeah, Jamie's mentioned it, but I've said it myself many times this week already. It's the first time in a long time where I've actually been looking forward to a fight. Usually I'm just like, it'll be good, no, but I'm looking forward to being done. But no, I'm actually looking forward to getting putting on the performance. The training has been fantastic. The switch up has been brilliant. I feel refreshed, reset. I feel brand new.
You mentioned like what training's done for you, and you mentioned Pedro Diaz. You told me a few weeks ago, you know, he didn't just work on, combinations and all the stuff tactically, but he works on your mind. Do you almost feel like you've got into fights before, not just facing an opponent, but facing yourself, dealing with your own emotion? You've referenced, look, I fight with my balls, and that comes from you, that the fighter. Forget the professional boxer, that's that pride. Yeah. So how has he sort of managed to rein that in and get it under control? Because you need to follow a game plan for the fight.
Definitely. Listen, most of the time I fight to the game plan. The odd time, I've went and tried to, have the machismo and try to be the big man in there, but no need to do that. What being with Pedro has kind of done is it's just brought me back to me being me and using my best assets. So that's where I feel I'm best and I'm happiest. So that's why I'm going into this fight week excited. Looking forward to the performance. I know what's in front of me. I know what I have to do. I'm not underestimating anybody. I'm not overlooking anybody. I'm not looking ahead towards anybody. I'm just focused on my job, and that's what it's a job.
What changed? Because obviously after the last fight, there were a lot of questions about, do I want to continue? I'll go to America. We'll try a few trainers. You weren't fully on board. You were just more of an experimental process to see if it could bring out in you. But what was that one moment where it clicked and you just went, you know what? Like, I'm back, like this we have to go now, kind of balls to the wall kind of thing with it.
There was probably an awful lot of him throughout the training camp. Someone dropped his phone, but there was an awful lot throughout the training camp. And when I got over there, and I obviously tried a few coaches out, and when I linked up with Pedro, I knew it was the right choice right away, and that kind of started to give me that spark, and made me kind of want to go again, want to do it again, because the question's hanging over your head always for any fighter who gets put in that position is, do I really want to do the same? Because it's a hard slog, it's not easy. As much as I'll sit here on camera and I'll talk away and look happy and people will criticise and say shit, they don't understand how tough it can be and how mentally tough it is. So, people have the right to have their opinions and say anything they want to say, but at the end of the day, the only mind and the only voice that matters is your own. And if you believe in yourself and you kind of find that love again for it, roll that dice again. Let's see how far we can go.
Well, you certainly are doing that. You're rolling a dice with someone who you do have that familiarity with. You've shared many rounds sparring, albeit a long time ago, and we referenced it before, and I know you did sort of in the Matchroom thing. Sparring's not the be-all and end-all, but you'll have seen certain things in there which I'm sure give you confidence, and I'm sure he'll take away certain things, but have you seen enough out of them spars to know that on Saturday night that you are levels above and that you are going to be able to beat him, whether it be over the distance, whether it be inside the distance?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not going back and going, oh, this happened, sparring, sparring, things happen. But if you wanted to take confidence from anything, you know, I definitely can. And I've seen an awful lot of things throughout that time. And even in his performances since that time, I've seen an awful lot of things which you go, okay, that, yeah, I understand, and I know what I got to do. So yeah, going into Saturday night, you can look back in the sparring if you want, and I'm sure he probably does an awful lot, but you know, I'm just focused on the job, and that's going in there and getting the win Saturday.
Now, obviously, I know you're not thinking about anything else because you can't afford to. At the end of the day, there's a guy standing in front of you who's fighting for his career. But everyone talks about his affiliation with Leigh Wood. Obviously, it's his best mate. You've referenced him as a fanboy before, on a couple of occasions. He's come today and done his interview in Matchroom, wearing a Leigh Wood t-shirt with a few pictures on it. I can't quite clearly see what they are, but what do you make of that? Do you think he's just trying to play the games at the start of the fight week? I mean, you're face to face with him at the open workout. There didn't see much get said, but is he trying to play games with you, do you think?
He's probably trying to awaken the madness in me. But that only gets called on when it needs to be called on. At the minute, it doesn't need to be called on this fight. You know, in the build-up, you've heard me say things and stuff, but it's all part of the build-up. It's all part of the show, so to say. I'm getting in this with no emotion. I don't give a fuck about Jordan Gill. I don't care about Leigh Wood. I'm getting in there to do me and perform, and that's what I got to do.
In your heart of hearts, I've seen you reference this and just say, look, I'll beat Jordan Gill, etc. But you believe you stop him, don't you, on Saturday night?
Yeah, 100% I do.
Why? Why do you go out there and stop him? You're going to be too much for him, over him? Is the crowd going to play a factor? I know they can't fight for you or have an effect, but he's going into the Lions Den on Saturday night. Why, for the first time, why are you going to be too much for him?
There's an awful lot of reasons why. But I know I'll get him out of there. He lacks something. He has quit in him. And that's it.
Right, look, something a little bit different. I've compiled a few pictures together. All I want you to do is just basically talk me through it. Can be a word, can be a sentence. I've knocked a few together. They're kind of getting lost in all my stuff now, but right, we're here. Right, first one. These will appear on screen when I piss about with the editing. Right, first one.
Legend.
Bob Arum, one finger salute. What was he like for your career? You had a long time with Top Rank.
Bob was fantastic. Bob is fantastic. What a man. An honour to work with such a legend. Very appreciative of Bob and what he done for my career. A great guy and the GOAT in boxing promoting, let's be honest. He is of all time, like he has to be.
Promoted
everybody, Ali, Leonard, everybody, Duran, the lad. So a special man and a good friend.
Right, next one.
My face is on it, but yes, what a beer. The best beer the country has.
You've got your own brand of beer out now. We know everyone seems to be doing it. You know, obviously we've mentioned all the other athletes, but Gra, talk to me about that. You've dived into that. We didn't get a chance to touch on it the previous fight week. I know you were locked in for that, and you are for this, but it's been out now. It's hit Ibiza. Are we in Ireland? Are we in the UK? Give us an update.
Almost done. Just in the middle of sort of finalising the last few things, but yeah, it's my own lager. Brought out with Shamrocks to that, so. A proper Irish lager, and one I'm very proud of.
Right, this one. This is like going way back, so you're gonna have to explain. You know, right?
I see. Oh yeah, that's my cousins and a few childhood friends when I was growing up.
How old must you have been there? That's young, isn't it?
8. It's 8. Yeah, around 8.
What was it? 9. What was it like growing up, and obviously in Northern Ireland? What was it like?
Yeah, it was great. You know, you're growing up in, Belfast, probably post troubles anyway, and it was like obviously probably mad for a lot of people. Like the soldiers patrolling the streets and stuff. You would have seen all that there when you're growing up. So, like at the time when you look back on it now, you go, that's crazy, because that's what like kids in like Afghanistan and all them places are seeing.
Is that normal for you?
When I was growing up, it was normal. It wasn't anything different. It was just normal. You don't know the difference when you're a kid and you're going through all that. But yeah, listen, it was a good upbringing. I had a good family and good friends. So yeah, it was good.
Did you get into much trouble when you were younger?
Yeah, that's all. Yep.
Right, this one.
They're fucking cheats. They're cheats.
From the core.
From the core right to the top.
That's something that still gets played
Yeah.
today. You see a lot of the time in the amateur game, even now, some more than dubious decisions, and you're sort of the catalyst for calling these people out.
Yeah, well, if you look, that moment is probably the catalyst for boxing possibly being at the Olympics because of the corruption and because of the stuff which goes on behind the scenes, and it's sad. I'd be very sad if boxing is taken from the Olympics because, I wouldn't have been a boxer if it wasn't for that reason, because that's how I got into boxing, was watching Olympic boxing. And like the dream always was to be Olympic champion. Before being a world champion, it was always to be Olympic champion. And yeah, that moment, that would have been history, obviously, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Right. Another one. Former world champion.
The few things that came to my head, because one thing I was gonna go comedy route and go headbutter, but I don't think I'm not gonna say that, but I'm just saying that because he was making jokes of it. Good fighter, very unlucky in his last fight.
What do you think of the last fight? You think he should have been allowed to continue? What do you think?
It's a weird one because his back was turned. You can see both sides of the coin, really. I don't agree with the point. I think that was a bit dramatic and unnecessary, but yeah, very unlucky.
This one, Prime Conlan.
Oh, you seen that one? Yeah, Jesus, that must have been.
What's going on?
I don't know, but I'm obviously pissed. Must have been 2011.
I can't remember where I found it. I think
Someone said Ryan said it or something.
no. Yeah, I asked him for some pictures, but look at the face.
I didn't say that.
They had one too many WKDs in it.
Yeah, exactly that. It would have been Smirnoff Face or something like that, or Vulgarable would have been Vulgarable. Yeah, two for a fiver. It was fucking burned at the time. It wasn't Red Bull, it was like Boost.
Monster.
You know what I mean? No, not Monster. Monster would be more expensive. Boost. The greatest Irish athlete of all time. Fighter, athlete, whatever you say. Greatest Irish sports person of all time. The most saint-like person I've ever met.
Do you know what? What gets me about this, this is a picture of Katie Taylor, and I didn't fully understand it. I understood it from a perspective, but I didn't understand how deep it was. And last week, when I saw what it meant to them people, and I don't just mean people in the industry, I mean your average, working class person who's in the stands and cheering behind Katie. What makes Katie Taylor so special? And don't just mean inside the ring, because she's you never hear anything. It's way more than that.
It's more than inside the ring. It's not about what's inside the ring, and her achievements, they're unmatched, they're unparalleled. She's just a real special person, a human being. In a world of like TikTok and social media now, where people sell their souls for to the devil basically, she's one who's stayed true to her faith, stayed true to her family, and is a proper role model.
Yeah, I want to reference some. More importantly, I remember you messaged me after the fight. You said, that's inspiring." And you're a name in yourself, and so for you to say that about another sports person, it just shows the effect. Look, a couple more before we leave this off.
Perm.
Will it happen again?
I hope so, but no, I see he's calling for the rematch with Josh before he's calling for a rematch for me. We both can do the city ground, but there's one he prefers, there's one that he doesn't prefer.
I think he's saying that because you're fighting his mate, and he wants to see it. He's not going to put that into his mate's mind that I'll fight Mick again.
Yeah, that could be a possibility. You're right in that sense. Listen, as much as he annoys me at times when he tries to be his funny guy posting stuff, you got to give him credit, because he showed real toughness in a lot of his fights, and determination and endurance. All the things he gave him credit for before the fight. So you gotta give him credit for his achievements. He's done really well. So fair play.
Final one.
Done.
Enough said. Michael Conlan, have you got a message for the fans that I'm sure will pack the SSE arena for what is an incredible night of boxing? And although obviously everyone's looking forward to the main event, if you've not seen the lineup, which Conlan Boxing obviously been pushing for years now with co-promoting with Matchroom, if you've wanted to get involved and watch boxing, this is the card to do it. You got a message for all these fans?
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of the best cards of the year. So sit down, put your seatbelts on, and enjoy the ride, because this is going to be a great one. For me, McKenna Crocker, that's a worthy main event. Like, you know what I mean?
It was, wasn't it?
It was the main event, but that's a real main event. It's a main event fight. It's crazy. It's going to be some fight, and even I've seen little clips of today. Whew, it's going to be fire.
Well, look, if you've not seen anything, get on board, watch it. Obviously, follow. Obviously, Conlan Boxing Matchroom. They put on a terrific card. We're coming so close to the end of the year. Look, Mick, I know it's fight week. You've got a few more obligations to do. Press conference, weigh in, yada yada. But we'll catch up after your fight.
Yes, mate. Take care.